What is feminist research? In your other classes, you have probably learned that research is a systematic investigation or study to reach new conclusions. Now the question is, what makes a research feminist? Research aims to establish facts. Most of what we know today are established through research. However, looking back, feminists realize these facts are established mostly by men of certain nationalities and economic classes. If you look at it, most of our scientists and great thinkers are men. This is because women were systemically discouraged to participate in intellectual work and knowledge building. This characteristic of research is what feminists call mainstream research, and this is a problem. Think about it. If mostly men established what we know about the world, how did they study phenomena that specifically women experience, such as pregnancy or being on a period or juggling care work, housework, community work, and building her career? Men do not know anything about those experiences. Knowledge based mainly on male, culturally specific experience represents a skewed perception of reality and is only a partial knowledge. Feminist research reacts and interrogates mainstream research because it believes that the latter fails to understand women's experiences, activities, and perspective. The best way to correct this is to take women's daily experience and informal theorizing into account, and on this basis, adopt feminist approaches to building theory and knowledge. Moreover, research often assumes that its conclusions are generalizable, value-free, and objective. Scientists often study their research subjects in a detached and disinterested manner, as if people's experiences can be encapsulated in numbers and predicted through formulas. In fact, if mainstream research aims to be disinterested and dispassionate, feminist research believes that we should care about what we are trying to study, and that if we acknowledge our biases and social positions, our research becomes more valid, relevant, and fruitful. As feminist researchers, we should follow a set of ethics and principles to guide us in our research. For example, if one of our key informants' answer opposes our hypothesis, what do? First principle, honesty. Even though the results may not favor our hypothesis, we have to disclose it in our research. Second principle, accountability. As we do our research, we have to remember that we are dealing with people and their lives. So we have to remain responsible. For example, we may have to deal with sensitive cases, such as violence against women. So we must be ready to connect the participants to institutions or counseling networks. Third principle, transparency. It is also important for us to inform our participants and readers of everything they need to know, from the purpose of our research to how they can acquire a copy of it. The point is to be transparent at every point in one's research. Transparency is our commitment of ensuring that our readers and participants know the various nuances of our research. Fourth principle, humility. As researchers, we have to remember to respect and never invalidate the knowledge and experiences of our participants. We must be careful in assuming that we know it all and that we understand their experiences better than they do. We have the responsibility to always adhere to these four feminist research ethics: honesty, accountability, transparency, and humility. Always remember HATH, or HAT. As feminists, it is important for us to exhibit a certain characteristic in our research. That is Reflexivity. Reflexivity is finding strategies to question our own attitudes, thought processes, values, habitual actions, and even our own social and political positions, biases, and assumptions as we strive to understand our complex roles in relation to others. As social beings, our thoughts and beliefs are influenced by many factors like class, race, religion, gender, and other social factors. The recognition of these factors aid us in understanding why we think, how we think, and keep ourselves in check. Often, a mainstream research lacks reflexivity because of the assumption that it should distance itself away from these factors. On the other hand, a feminist research has to interrogate social location and to integrate reflexivity in order to come up with a more comprehensive and even more objective research. As feminists, we have a goal: to emancipate people from systems that oppress them. Our research should also be contributing for this goal. We must keep in mind that people of different identities have varying experiences, and so we must focus on dismantling the system that oppresses us, and not just the ones that we personally experience. As we do our researches, we always have to reflect. How does my research address unequal power relations? Ultimately, we have to remember that feminism is a political movement, and that all our feminist efforts should be for the emancipation of all.